If I were starting or scaling a SaaS company in 2026, AI wouldn't be just another tool in my stack. It would be the strategic growth engine powering everything that I do. And look, I know what you might be thinking. Everyone's talking about AI, but what's actually practical here? That's exactly why I wanted to make this video, because founders I talk to aren't struggling whether or not AI matters. They're struggling with where to apply it. What moves the needle? What's a distraction? And what actually compounds over time. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 specific ways I would use AI to grow a lean software startup. We're talking marketing, onboarding, support, and product development. Essentially the full life cycle. Whether you're in early stage and figuring things out, or you're scaling and looking for leverage, these ideas are designed to help you move faster, cut costs, and drive revenue with real clarity. Let's get into it. All right, the first way I would use AI is to nail my messaging. And I mean really nail it. Here's the thing most founders get wrong. They think their messaging problem is a copywriting problem. It's not. It's a research problem. You cannot write compelling copy if you don't deeply understand what your best customers actually care about. So here's what I would do. I would take every customer interview, every support ticket, every review, and every cancellation reason. I would take all of that voice of customer data and feed it into AI to identify patterns. What words do your happiest customers use? What problems do they describe in their own language? What outcomes do they talk about that you have never even put on your landing page? Once you have that, you can start testing positioning with what I call GPT-based feedback loops. You write your value proposition, and then you have the AI critique it from different perspectives of different customer segments. Ask it, how would a CFO respond to this? What objections would a technical buyer have? Does this resonate with someone who has tried 3 other solutions? The magic is in rapid iteration. Instead of spending weeks going back and forth with your team on headline variations, you can generate dozens of options, stress test them against different personas, and narrow down to your strongest candidates in an afternoon. Now, I want to be clear. This doesn't actually replace talking to customers. Nothing does. But it accelerates the synthesis process dramatically. And it helps you catch blind spots that you didn't know you had. Ask yourself this. How do you currently validate your messaging? If the answer is gut feel or we ran it by a few people internally, there's a lot of upside sitting on the table. Number 2, use AI to dramatically accelerate your content creation. And I'm not talking about churning out generic blog posts that read like they were written by a robot. I'm talking about building a content engine that actually compounds. Here's the workflow I would set up. Every piece of content starts with a core idea. Maybe it's a customer insight, a feature announcement, or a point of view on the market. Then, AI helps me expand that idea across every format and channel. One video script becomes a blog post, which becomes a LinkedIn carousel, which becomes an email sequence, which becomes a Twitter thread. Same core insight, reformatted for where your audience actually is. The tools are mature now. You've got ChatGPT, Jasper, Claude. Or even better, you can build custom GPTs that are fine-tuned to your brand voice, your terminology, and your specific customer pain points. And here's what most people miss. The leverage isn't just in creation speed, it's in consistency. When you have AI maintaining your brand voice across 50 pieces of content a month, you build trust faster. Prospects see you everywhere, and you always sound like you. Think about this question. What would 10x more content do for your top of funnel? If you had the capacity to publish every day instead of twice a week, how would that change your growth trajectory? For most startups, the answer is it would change everything. And AI makes that volume achievable without hiring a massive content team. Number 3, and this one is huge, personalize your onboarding at scale. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most SaaS products lose users in the first week. Not because the product is bad, but because the onboarding is generic. Everyone gets the same walkthrough, regardless of whether or not they're a power user who has seen 10 similar tools, or a complete beginner who needs handholding. AI changes this completely. Imagine onboarding that adapts in real time based on user behavior. Someone is clicking around fast and skipping tutorials. The AI recognizes that they're experienced and gets out of their way. Someone's lingering based on features and not progressing. The AI offers a contextual tip or a video walkthrough right when they need it. You can do this with AI-generated custom walkthroughs based on the user role, their company size, and their use case. This is data you probably already collect during signup. You can use adaptive chatbots that answer questions in context instead of sending people to a knowledge base. You can embed GPT-powered copilots directly in your product that proactively suggest next steps. The question you should be asking is, where are your users dropping off, and what would help them succeed faster? Because every user who churns in week 1 is someone who never got to experience the value you actually deliver. AI-powered onboarding isn't just a nice to have, it's a retention multiplier. And in SaaS, retention's everything. When you personalize onboarding with AI, you aren't just improving retention, you're creating momentum for every new user. It's one of the clearest ways to turn interest into real engagement. But here's what I see over and over again. Most founders are still treating AI like a plugin instead of a product-level unlock. They're automating tasks when they should be redesigning workflows entirely. That is exactly why I created the AI SaaS Bootcamp. It gives you a step-by-step roadmap to build, launch, and grow an AI-powered product without wasting time trying to figure it out solo. The link is right at the top of the description. Go check it out. All right, number 4, speed up customer support with AI assistance. Support is one of those areas where AI delivers immediate, measurable ROI, if you do it right. Here's the setup. You take your help documentation, your FAQ, your most common support tickets, basically everything your team knows, and you train an AI assistant on it. Now, you have an instant Tier 1 support that can handle the questions that eat up 80% of your team's time. How do I reset my password? Where do I find this setting? Why isn't my integration working? These are all questions that AI can answer instantly, 24/7, without your team touching a single ticket. But, and this is critical, you need a seamless handoff between the bot and real humans. Nothing frustrates customers more than getting stuck in a chatbot loop when they have a complex problem. The best AI support systems know when they're out of their depth and they escalate gracefully. The result? You improve response time, you improve customer satisfaction, and you do it without expanding your team. Your support people get to focus on the hard problems that actually need human judgment, instead of answering the same basic question for the 100th time. Think about this. What questions are eating up your team's time every week? If you could automate even 50% of those, what would your team do with that time back? Number 5, use AI to extract real insights from your product and user data. Most SaaS companies are sitting on a goldmine of data that they never actually use. Usage logs, feedback, NPS responses, support conversations. It's all there, but turning raw data into actionable insights, that takes time that most teams don't have. AI changes the economics of analysis. You can now have AI summarize trends from thousands of data points. It can spot churn signals before customers actually leave. Things like declining usage, support ticket patterns, or engagement drops that predict cancellation. It can identify upsell triggers automatically, like users who are hitting plan limits or showing behavior patterns that suggest that they're ready for a higher tier. And here's where it gets really interesting. Dashboards that don't just display data, but they interpret it. Instead of staring at charts trying to figure out what they mean, you have AI telling you, usage amongst enterprise customers dropped 15% this month, primarily driven by reduced activity in the reporting module. 3 customers match your historical churn profile. That's a difference between data and intelligence. One gives you numbers, the other tells you what to do. Ask yourself, what would you do differently if you had a clear visibility into what's actually happening in your product? If you knew exactly which users were at risk, which features were driving retention, and which segments were most profitable. That clarity is available now. You just have to set up the systems to capture it. And finally, number 6, use AI to build and ship product updates faster. This is where AI really shines for technical teams. And honestly, if you're not using AI to accelerate your development workflow in 2026, you're leaving speed on the table. Here's how I would apply it. First, use AI to spec features more clearly. Before writing any code, describe what you want to build in natural language. Have the AI help you think through edge cases, user flows, and potential issues. It's like having a product manager and a QA engineer reviewing your spec before development even starts. Then, use AI for documentation. Every developer hates writing it, but every user needs it. Auto-generate change logs, release notes, and beta announcements. Keep your knowledge base updated without it being a constant chore. Code generation is the obvious one. Scaffolding new features, writing boilerplate, debugging. But the less obvious win is using AI-enhanced user segmentation to prioritize what to build next. Instead of guessing which features matter most, you're making data-driven decisions about your roadmap. The compound effect here is massive. Faster specs means faster development. Better docs means fewer support tickets. Smarter prioritization means you're always working on what moves the needle most. Here's a question I would leave you with. What's one update you could ship this week with AI support? Not next quarter, this week. Because the teams that are winning right now are the ones that ship fast and iterate constantly. So let's bring this home. We've covered 6 ways to use AI to grow a software startup. Nailing your messaging, accelerating content creation, personalizing onboarding, speeding up support, extracting insights from data, and shipping products faster. But here's what I want you to take away from this. Shipping faster with AI isn't just about saving time. It's about creating space to lead, to test, and to move without second guessing. When you can execute quickly, you can try more things. You can learn faster. You can stay ahead of the competitors who are still stuck in old workflows. Now, it's on you to take action. Pick one of these 6 strategies and implement it this week. Not someday, this week. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. I'm putting out new content on AI, SaaS, and building products that actually grow. I'll see you in the next one.